I had never written about because my parents were super strict on me. I wasn't allowed to have sleepovers. I wasn't allowed to watch Harry Potter or SpongeBob.
I'm Zach Miller. Welcome to Before We Cheers. You know when you have a song that kind of sneaks up on you and you're humming along and then you sort of realize actually you're having more of an emotional moment than you might have thought? From when I was listening to her album, I believe that's Gatlin's superpower. She makes heartbreak sound like a sing-along and freedom feel like a punchline. Her debut album, The Eldest Daughter, just dropped. It's not just a record, it's a Southern coming-of-age story about faith, about family, about queerness, and figuring out who you really are after the script stops working. She's a Florida native, now living in LA, a dual-tone recording artist, Spotify Glow Spotlight pick, and apparently Taylor Swift's psychic twin. Taylor Swift just dropped an album called Eldest Daughter. Why did I just say that? The song is called Eldest Daughter. You have an album called Eldest Daughter.
That track list came out and I was like, whoa.
Are you a Swiftie?
Yeah, I think she was definitely a huge reason why I thought I could make music and write my own songs.
Were you nervous about anyone's particular reaction in the family when they first heard this kind of stuff for the first time in your songs?
I mean,
Please welcome Gatlin.
wait, I'm gonna cry. That was so sweet.
Oh my God, of course.
Hi.
Hi.
Thanks for having me.
You are thriving, and we're going to talk about that and, this new album and what it's about, like what it took and plenty of other things. So,
Love that.
ready to get into it?
Yeah, I love talking about myself.
Okay, good. Okay. How's release week generally been treating you? I mean, we call it release week, but the album dropped on Friday. And that's 2 days before this episode is now being recorded on Mean Girls Day on October 3rd.
On October 3rd.
Yeah. Was any of that planned? I mean, there's, whatever.
I mean, it was a Friday.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? But then I think I got a list of options and I was like, October 3rd.
Yeah, near and dear to your heart.
Yeah, obviously. You asked me what day it was. Yeah. I said.
And we're only going to touch on this briefly. Taylor overlap thing.
No, I know. Crazy.
Yeah.
And that track list came out and I was like, whoa.
Are you a Swiftie?
I am.
Yeah.
I think, can you be a girl with a guitar and not constantly, as a kid, want to be her? And so, yeah, I think she was definitely a huge reason why I thought I could make music and write my own songs. It was crazy. At first I was like, I think a little bummed because, right, artists want their own originality and
right.
I have to be unique and special and different. But then I was just kind of like, you know what, that's actually really interesting and really cool.
Yeah.
And I feel very much so tapped into whatever spiritual energy line she's in. We're grabbing from the same little vine.
I believe that too. I mean, you can be mutually exclusive, separate, but, similar. There are 3 movies coming out this Halloween that are all Frankenstein movies. Somehow, they all are coming out at the same time.
Yeah.
So I do feel seasonality and the way sometimes these things work out. I know different types of projects take all kinds of time. Similarities, creative differences might speed it up, slow it down. But at the end of the day, these things just kind of come when they come.
Definitely. Have you ever read Elizabeth Gilbert's Big Magic?
No.
She's the author who wrote Eat, Pray, Love.
Okay.
And she talks about this idea of ideas being alive and we're just the vessels. And I'm 100% believe in that. And so I just think Eldest Daughter and the color orange was just floating around and we both tapped into it and we're vessels for that. And so it takes a lot of ego out of it, I think, when you think of it in that way.
You are an eldest daughter yourself.
I'm an eldest daughter.
I'm an eldest son.
Oh.
Same but different.
Just all of their hopes and dreams into us, all the pressures.
I was going to ask, did you feel a certain responsibility, growing up as that eldest and sort of setting a foundation or, a way to be?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. My parents were super strict on me. I wasn't allowed to have sleepovers. I wasn't allowed to watch Harry Potter or SpongeBob or it was just very, very strict. And then by the time my baby brother came along, the third, it was no rules. And yeah, I think there's also a lot of pressure. My parents would always, say oh, they're watching you. You need to be perfect, essentially. So yeah, there's definitely that perfectionism rising in me. And then, yeah, just taking care of everyone around me, but a lot of times myself, for sure.
I want to talk about your Times Square billboard just for a second. And here's why. Because I think that having grown up in New York myself, like Times Square still represents a lot to a lot of people. And look, if I had a billboard in Times Square, like I'd be freaking the fuck out. Like I know what that feeling is like, and it's a huge, moment and accomplishment. Like when you saw that, this week on top of everything else, was that like sort of a watershed moment for you, or did you feel like it was anything, or was it sort of like, yeah, this is part of the program?
No, it was definitely like, I think, something that I stopped and celebrated.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, growing up, I'd come and visit New York and we'd go in Times Square and you'd look around and be like, oh, the world is ginormous.
Yeah.
Everything is so colorful.
Yeah.
I journal so much and I write so much. And I had like, this is what success means, like when I was 20.
Yeah.
And one of those things was Times Square billboard. Like that's something I want. And that, means I've made it. And I don't know. Yeah, I think it's just something I can really point to that also for me, like, it was a Glow Spotify billboard. So like I was like, I'm the gay artist.
Yeah.
Spotify's gay. But it I think validated my queerness and like being a queer artist all that more as well.
Totally.
Yeah.
Like you're in good company. Great company, actually.
Yeah, great company.
Yeah. No, that's huge. That's like massive kudos.
Thank you.
To you, seriously. We talked about the responsibility of the eldest daughter. Where were you coming from when this all kind of came together as that one idea?
I was writing all these songs, and as they were coming together, and a lot of these songs were very heavier about like different things I was processing in therapy and healing from. And I think in therapy, it just kept coming back to all of these things about pressure and needing to be perfect and succeed. And we're all kept pointing back to like family system set up and me being the oldest daughter and all of that. So it just seemed like this is the identifying factor behind all of these songs.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Did you feel like you were writing your way out of sort of this expectation you think people had of you?
Definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, I had never written about sex, about, I would try not to curse a lot in my songs. I would try, like, there was just so many things that I was, like, filtering myself because of my family and then being really religious and conservative. And so it just felt like, okay, I really have to go there. And I have to write about why I even haven't in the past gone there. So yeah, it was really scary to do, but I think important. Like I had to go fully there.
Yeah. Were you nervous about anyone's particular reaction in the family? Like when they first heard you talking about this kind of stuff for the first time in your songs?
I mean, a little bit. I think just in general, kind of like everyone.
Yeah.
I think I just had to do it for me. It became a thing that I was just kind of thinking about. I don't really know if I'm going to keep making music. Like, I don't really know, like, if this is for me. This is really hard. Like, maybe I'm just writing these songs for me. And then I was like, wait, okay, maybe I will put them out. Like, maybe this is my greatest love.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I just got this flash of, that TikTok trend where they're like, I forgot this is the whole point. I feel like that's sort of what, when you were talking about that, that's the feeling I get.
Hopecore.
Yeah. I want to play this, game with you. I created this segment. I'm going to call it Sin and Syntax.
Ooh.
I'll give you a few words that probably meant like one thing to you when you were younger.
Okay.
And I would just love to know, like, what they mean to you now. So.
Oh, okay.
Faith.
Yeah, it's believing without seeing. And it can be a really good thing.
Believing without seeing. I love that. Sin.
Bad. Bad. That one is not changed.
Yeah. Sin that you thought of as a kid, like does whatever that sin might be, has that changed now?
I think that a lot of these like specific like religious-based words. I think when they come up in my body, like my body still experiences the same things, even though like I logically maybe have moved past it.
Sure.
And so that's what I think a lot of it is. So like sin, I'm like, you know, like I feel it even more so than like in my head. I know like, oh, people are, you know, not everything's black and white. People are, I don't know. It's gray.
It is gray. You're right.
But
that's exactly why, you know, I wanted to bring you here and talk about this because I know that things can change over time, especially when we grow and we make art that means like the most to ourselves. Pride.
Now it means gay.
Yeah.
And now it means, you know, community. And like, which is so funny because 10 years ago it would have been like, meant like pride was a bad thing. Pride was a sin, you know, having that. So, oh, okay. You like that?
Yeah. Forgiveness.
I felt warm. I felt orange is like a very powerful thing. And I think forgiveness is almost like more so like for us than for the other person, which I think we've heard, but it's true.
No, I agree with you 100%. I think of when we were taught to say I'm sorry by our parents as kids when we would do something wrong or sin or whatever you want to call it. And I think we thought it was for the other person, something we had to do. But for me now, I truly feel like we do it more for us.
Definitely.
You know, just to feel like we can move forward with that other person and not let it hang on too long.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Heaven.
I am still in a place where I'm like, oh, I really wish I still believed in heaven. Even when I was still like a Christian, I kind of threw out hell. I was like, I don't believe in that.
Yeah.
But like, I do think we all go to heaven. I think everyone goes to heaven. And sometimes I like still want to believe in that.
Yeah.
And I can't get myself there, but I really want to because it just seems like, well, that seems amazing.
Yeah.
Nobody's sick. Everyone's equal. Everyone's like happy. Everyone's together.
Yeah.
I mean, that sounds pretty rad. So.
Yeah. Where's my invite? Family.
For me, like family right now means my friends and my like community. That's where I feel like the most seen and loved and shown up for and like unconditionally loved.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's forever. I hope it's not. But, well, I hope like my friendships are.
Yeah.
But as far as like family, blood family, I hope. I don't know. I think things can change. I think circumstances can change.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
The family we come from and the family we choose are both very important. Girl.
Oh, I just thought of one girl.
Yeah.
I'm in like love for the first time right now. And so I don't know. I just think that that's pretty cool. I have like a song called Never Been in Love that came out a while ago. And I had, you know, listeners and fans be like, do you think maybe?
Yeah.
And that was part of the process of me like figuring that out. And so I've just had never been in a real relationship and now I am and it's still new. And I don't know. I'm just like
you're beaming. I love it. It's so awesome and sweet and adorable because I know how real and intense that can like feel when it hits you.
Yeah.
Like really hard for the first time.
Definitely.
Awesome. I want to talk about Man of the House. You perform in male drag in that video, which
yes. Wait, I was like, wait. Yes, I do.
Yeah. I was like, I believe that was you with the tank top on the couch and all that.
You're right, I do.
I wouldn't say it's parody as much, although a little bit, because it's not camp for camp's sake, but it feels pretty powerful.
Yeah. I became a man.
Yeah, I saw that.
I became, but not, you know, I became a certain kind of man, you know.
Which was what?
I think it was maybe like a stereotype, you know, of like a frat god.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Totally.
So, yeah, I think it was, maybe just like the most extreme version of like kind of the men I was writing about in the song.
Yeah.
Which I think I did that maybe a few times throughout this. I would like stereotype it and then take it to the most extreme level of that.
I remember Mick Jagger would talk a lot about like how he would perform for the Stones, and for every single song, he had said that it was almost like a new character. It's like he kind of embodied this like new, not new, but this different narrator for every single song that he would then go and perform, because it was taken on a life of its own, and he sort of needed to just adopt that to get out what he needed to for each track.
I love that. I love that. Yeah. Well, yeah, there is something like very empowering of like feeling like you're putting on a character.
Yeah.
I definitely have a lot more confidence like being, I guess, like that male character, like for Jesus Christ and Country Clubs. I have like Miss Amanda Grace Ann.
Yeah.
Who's like a country club queen with an alcohol problem. And
she's probably not the only one.
But yeah, I feel like another level of confidence when I like become them versus, I don't know, it's maybe like harder to like be yourself and find that.
Yeah.
But I can, but maybe it's just harder to tap into.
Well, I've met and I'm friends with, some drag artists, and I know why they do what they do all the time, because they always say like it reveals like even more of who you are. Do you feel like you stepped into sort of, or you tapped into some part of yourself when you put on like male drag for that project that you didn't really scratch? It was an itch that you hadn't scratched before.
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah. Maybe I'm like coming into this as we're like discussing this right now. But yeah, I think so. I was, as a kid, like went through a few phases of being very, very tomboy and like always being like, I wish I was a boy. I wish I was a boy. I wish I was a boy. So I think like, yeah, that's probably definitely like a piece of me that like has like come through in phases over the years. So
it's exciting.
Yeah.
It's so fun. Like I can only imagine what that's like as a woman to like get into that sort of like vibe and mode and just act on all that. But it's the words that you wrote. It's the music that you wrote. So it's like, it's all these parts of you that are coming out in one sort of vessel and vacuum at once,
Definitely. Yeah, definitely. That song is, I love playing that song.
Me too.
Listening to that song.
I was jamming it to it like, today before I got here.
Like,
in
fun.
The cab. The Uber driver looked at me like he was like, what's he like listening to back there? I was like,
oh, were you in?
Yeah, I had my headphones on. I was like, sorry about it.
That's so fun.
So that character wasn't based on, anyone real in particular?
No, I think it was just kind of like the way in instances. It was a lot of like, especially that song were like instances with men that I've had. And I guess kind of like the root of that, and then like to its like most extreme form. I think it was kind of like, this is who this would be. Yeah, no, not based off of a specific person. Wish I don't know. I guess I don't really keep that company.
Yeah. I want to talk about Florida for a second, because I know that, obviously you came from there, and it seems to play a like pretty big role in your music, even if you're not, living there currently at this point. When I listened, it felt like equal parts nostalgia and escape route. That was my interpretation.
Beautiful, Zach. Okay.
But like, tell me if I mean, look, that's my interpretation of your art. So like, that's just what I got out of it. But it feels to me, especially learning more about your story, when did you know you had to leave Florida?
I mean, I always knew. I went on a college tour in the 8th grade. Again, eldest daughter. Really. I started SAT prep in the 7th grade.
You're kidding me.
And
wait, really?
Yeah. No, it was very, very, very strict, very like success oriented.
Yeah.
Like I was allowed to do whatever I wanted, but they would always say like I had to be the best at it.
Yeah.
And so, no, I knew 8th grade, I was going to go do music, and I was always supported in that, but I was going to get out of Florida.
Yeah.
Yeah. I really learned how to like make music and write songs in Nashville, and then went to LA after Nashville. And I think like being in LA, being in a blue state, and around a lot of gay people, I think that was when I really was able to like come into my own. Because Nashville's still the Bible Belt. I don't know. I think it took 2 months of being in college for me to like my bubble to kind of get bursted.
Yeah.
And to start the deconstruction phase and like figuring out who I was. But it wasn't until I was in LA that I was like, okay, no, this is who I am. And I'm not really interested in kind of like watering it down to like please anyone.
Yeah.
So yeah.
You're finding community at the same time that you were writing this stuff in these places. I mean, look, Nashville it's a hotbed for all kinds of music and songwriting.
Yeah.
It's a very inspirational place.
Yeah. I'm so glad I started there though. Like I think learning how to write songs in Nashville, I think, is why I always just go back to like me and my guitar a lot of times too. And I focus so much like on the songwriting of it all. Yeah, it was a great place to like start being an artist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have any artists that are so inherently Nashville before you got there that you always thought of, and now you might think of others? Like I still think of Dolly. Casey Musgraves is very much called her place, that place her home.
Casey's always been like a huge inspiration for me of like not like paving her own way, walking her own path, but still like honoring, still country music.
The roots.
Yeah. And honoring the roots. And so, yeah, I think like Casey was probably that for me. And then there are just like amazing songwriters like John Prine and Lori McKenna. And yeah.
John Prine is like, I saw him before he passed.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I went to Bonnaroo in 2019. And I actually saw Casey that year too, because that was when she won Album of the Year.
That's always will be like an island album for me.
Yeah. Me too.
I bring it up all the time.
Yeah, but it's
how can you not every 5 seconds?
Exactly.
Hey, have you heard?
Yeah, John Wayne. Yeah, John Prine. I had also seen that year too, and that was supposed to because somehow the song "In Spite of Ourselves."
Yeah.
They did with Iris DeMent. Way back when.
I was telling Maddie about that.
Really? Yeah. It was like a college. I don't ask me how it became a college anthem for me.
I love that.
But it was, I spent a summer in Wisconsin where I went to school in Madison.
Great place.
Oh, great place. Yeah.
Great place.
Between sophomore and junior year. Yeah, the summers are very short there, but they're great. I became friends with more people there. And we just had certain albums and music that just meant a lot to me at that time. Yeah, and that song was just in that playlist. Then it just kept coming up again and again. It was like where we can center ourselves and calm. It's beautiful. He's one of my favorite songwriters probably ever.
Yeah, he is. He is. He's just one of those. Yeah, I was in Nashville when he passed, and it was like a mourning.
Yeah.
Like a true mourning.
Yeah, I remember my ex had actually told me that he had passed, but he didn't realize it. He didn't know that I didn't know, so I was just like. And he was like, oh shit, am I the one that told you? And I was like, no, it's okay. Like, it's fine. I'm just like, I
need a second.
Yeah, I needed to take a breather, You talk about queer line dancing and so by the way, I've been to Stud Country. I've done that. I've gone to that party.
Oh my gosh. I'm going Monday night.
Are you really?
To another one called Dosi Doncha that my friends run.
Dosi Doncha.
Yeah, it's pretty fun. Shout out.
My friend Billy was the one who had told me about it, and I was like, oh, like what's the deal? And he said, well, it's like girls, gays, and they's just learning how to like line dance to Chapel and Diplo and this person or whoever. And I'm like, great. Yeah, I love that. It was so much fun. There are people who are so into it and they got they know the dances before, so they make it look so easy. I love it. It's fun. I don't know all the dances in advance, but I do love the
But it's just fun to go.
It's fun to go, and I love the community feeling there.
Definitely.
Have you? Do you have a lot of friends you've met there?
I'm one of the crazy twice a weekers who know the dances and will practice outside of it. I guess been 2 years now, and where I've made a lot of my friends, and it's where I met my partner. And
you were doing or
we were stud countrying.
Yeah.
We were just stud countrying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it. It's a blast. And for anyone who's never done it, I highly, highly recommend. It's like it's a very welcoming group. It's so much fun. And I just feel like when you learn how to do a new, dance or a whole new routine, it's sort of a different type of accomplishment that you feel. You know what I mean?
Well, I would always also watch like period pieces, like movies, and I'd be like, ugh, why don't we do that anymore? And everyone knowing the same dance, doing that, it's like so romanticized.
Was that period piece Coyote Ugly? Is that the?
Well, no, but that one too.
Yeah.
More, like Pride and Prejudice.
Yeah,
I feel like
totally.
And so finally, just getting to, I don't know, it's very feels very you're part of something.
Did it feel like a first of something for you?
It was extremely healing because I grew up, I grew up in Florida, but would spend my summers in North Carolina, lived in Nashville. So just it felt like healing that part because I love Florida. I love the South. I think this album also shows that. It's also heartbreaking of feeling very rejected or not loved by it. So it was extremely healing to be in a space where they're playing country music and also
accepting this
chapel
thing.
and we're getting to country line dance and do swing dance and that's everyone's in cowboy hats and boots, but it's gay people dancing, two men dancing together, and I get to dance with my girlfriend there.
I want to play another, game with you. I call it line dances and life lessons. I'm just gonna throw out these firsts, and if you're comfortable sharing the life lessons that you got from that would be awesome.
Okay.
You ready? First Pride.
What was the life lesson of First Pride? Gay people really go all out, and I love it. I love it. I felt very part of something.
Yeah.
I also didn't sleep much. You have to drink a lot of water and sleep.
It's a marathon, not a sprint.
Yeah.
I've been there, done the first family dinner after coming out. Do you remember?
I think it was very, we don't talk about that. We're not talking about that.
Yeah.
So I think I learned to just have to check in with my body a lot.
Yeah.
It just comes out and it comes out in your body.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about now?
Yeah, just I think it's honoring me within it. I don't know. Yeah, I think it's just setting boundaries and honoring myself.
Totally.
I think I have to prioritize that.
You just said the magic word that my therapist would die over, which is honoring yourself. Well, all those things. Yeah. He introduced this phrase to me called self-honoring years ago that blew a whole door open for me. And I think I just felt like if I was doing all these things for myself, it would feel selfish to me. But it's self-honoring and self-care and the way people, whatever you want to call it. At the end of the day, we're just doing what we need to do for us so we can do more things for us and for other people, right? That's something that I couldn't really completely wrap my head around for a long time until I finally just realized, if you're not doing what you need to do for you, nothing else actually really matters.
Yeah, definitely. It's the we always say it, but putting your mask on before
the oxygen mask on the plane. Yeah.
Yeah. But it's so real. I'm very heavily therapized. So
yeah, I love that. No, listen, I've been in out of therapy for 20 years. You're going to could shoot the shit. I've been the biggest advocate for it because the more self-aware I know I am, the better I can be for myself and everybody else.
Yeah, definitely.
I
think also showing up for your people as well and being able to give sound advice and also being able to know when maybe you should go talk to your therapist about that.
First time you heard your song on the radio?
I think the one that stuck out in my mind was when I turned on my car, when I didn't know what was going to happen.
Yeah.
When I turned on my car and it was on. I learned hard work pays off because I was in college and it was Lightning 100 in Nashville.
Wow.
And I would go to, they would have listening meetings on Wednesday mornings, and I went and I would be like, hello, I'm Gatlin. This is my song. And I would go quite a lot. And so I think I learned, like, okay, sometimes you really have to, like, fight for yourself, and then, like, it can pay off. So
If you don't ask, you don't get, you
yeah,
mean? Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I respect that hustle so much. That's so real.
Oh, yeah, I've definitely, like, been hustling for
Mhm.
6 years now,
Yeah.
and I'm just like, I love it, so what else am I to do?
No, this is exactly what you do need to do.
Yeah.
And I applaud you for that. And last one, first time someone sang your lyrics back to you.
Ooh, that was probably in a Nashville show.
Yeah.
I think of it was at this place called Mercy Lounge,
Mhm.
and it was just people were in the crowd. It was, like, my first real show that wasn't, like a house show in a backyard, just my friends, and there were just a bunch of, like, kids in college, and they were all jumping up and down, and I don't know what I learned except that I was like, My brain can't compute this, I'm so over the moon
Yeah.
about this," and I just felt incredibly, like, seen. Yeah.
Like the music had crossed over.
Yeah, or I was like, "Oh, like, people are like, actually listening to my music?
Yeah.
Like, these aren't just my friends and my family
Yeah.
and, people that, in my classes that I asked to come, like, these are people who I don't
Real
know.
fans.
Wow."
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That was a huge moment.
When you think about your fans now and like, that community that's sort of formed in the engagement, like
Mhm.
what do you see? What are you noticing now? Like what's changed?
I don't know, I think, like, the connection is still, like, really there.
Yeah.
I haven't, like, played a ton of shows in a while, and so,
Mhm.
like, I miss that, and it's now just, like, on the internet.
Mhm.
But I think, it's a lot of people with, like, big feelings,
Mhm.
and, like, I love that,
Yeah.
and said in the intro, which was so sweet of just, like, it feels, like, dancey and fun and feels good, but then you, like, dive a little bit deeper, and it's, like, big emotions.
Yeah.
And so I think it's just people who, like, connect with that, and when they see me and then I don't know, it's just like a connection occurs, and I just, like, really I don't know, it feels really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's electric. It really
It's
is.
electric.
Yeah.
That's my favorite word. I'm not
Electric.
kidding. Yeah. Electric.
I like it. Okay. I'm feeling electric right now. I'm happy to be here. I think every eldest daughter I know has sort of or eldest, sibling, etc.
Mm.
I feel like there's sort of a rule book in your head, of things that you still almost like even if your younger siblings are of age, they're adults, you still have to sort of feel responsible setting an example, even if it's falling apart. If you had to write the eldest daughter's guide to survival.
Like, what we need to do to protect ourselves.
Yeah, and your younger siblings, yeah.
Yeah, I think, like, the one that's coming out right now with my sister's my bestie. I love
Mhm,
her so much. She lives in, like, California, in LA, and she's a big girl. She can protect herself.
mhm.
You don't have to fight all of like, I feel like if anyone's mean to my sister,
Yeah.
like
Oh, if anyone, like, messed with my sister, they would have made a deal with I'd fuck him up.
yeah.
It's like
No, I
it's that
believe
sort of
you.
mama bear kinda
Yeah,
mentality.
something comes out.
Yeah.
Some of that is obviously good, but then some of it, I think, like, she at one point came to me and was like, "I need to learn how to fight my own battles sometimes." And I'm
Mm.
like, "That's so true."
Yeah.
Yeah, and I just feel protective in every way of her,
Yeah.
like, she has a boyfriend, and I'm always like, "You guys are moving a little too fast." I'll be like, "Are you sure?" And
Yeah.
then meanwhile, like, me and my partner, like, she she can throw it right back to me. So I think, yeah, I, like, mom her sometimes. And so
Yeah.
I think just letting that go a little
Mhm.
bit. And, like, yeah, her being my friend, her being my sister, I don't have to, like, worry and mother her and protect her all the time.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
weird dichotomy when, like, you and your younger siblings are all adult age
Yeah.
at that point,
Yeah.
because then age difference doesn't really matter anymore.
No.
We're all just, like then you realize, like, we're all just older kids that are, like, paying taxes and
Yeah.
and trying to figure out how to, like, live our lives and do what we do every day and
Yeah.
survive, because now we're all in this position of, you know teaching other people like how to
Definitely.
be and looking out for them, you know?
Definitely. I was just thinking, I have been talking a lot in therapy about, like, I also have to let go. Like, my siblings have a very different experience with my parents than I
Mm,
do. And, we saw different versions of them, like they were younger and I was the first, And so I think kind of like allowing her to have the relationship that she has with my parents
mhm,
and like not kind of, I don't know, holding any type of feeling against
mhm.
her for that, I
Yeah,
think, as well, or my brother.
yeah.
Yeah.
Madonna just did this interview with Jay Shetty. I don't know if like you'd caught any of that at all,
Mm.
and I'm a big fan of hers. But she talks about how when she's mothering her kids or she's parenting her kids,
Mhm.
and she's trying to teach them certain lessons, whether it be about life, about like
Mm.
her teachings in Kabbalah and all that, and they point to her, and as they grow up, they see our parents aren't perfect,
Mhm.
etc. But she always says to them, she says, "You're coming into life and my life at the time that you did. You weren't
Mm.
there to
Mhm.
see the other stuff before.
Mhm.
You might because she's Madonna, because so much was captured, you might
Yeah.
see all these videos, these interviews, these
Yeah.
music videos, this whatever, this press stuff. But me as a person, like you didn't see a lot of that, like, or any of that, like getting up to now. Like
Yeah.
you started here and that's your impression."
Mhm. Yeah, that's so interesting.
Yeah.
That's fascinating,
Yeah, it made me
especially for
think
someone like her, wow.
totally, but it made me think a lot about, this point in my life too,
Yeah.
and like, as like my sister and I know each other basically our whole lives. We're 3 years apart, but
Yeah.
I would think like if I was in that position that I would be like, "Yeah, but you didn't see all the times I messed up, like getting to this point. Like
Yeah.
you don't know how long it took for me to be this perfect person in your eyes."
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Definitely. And I think, like, yeah, our siblings get maybe, like, a shielded version of maybe, like, everything,
Yeah.
probably, of us, of our parents, of
Mhm.
the world
Mhm.
that maybe, like, we don't get.
Yeah.
Or, yeah, at least for me, it was, like, a very much, like, stricter, like, version of things because we're the guinea pigs. Like,
Yeah.
I'm just the guinea pig.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
figuring it out.
I had, like, a way stricter curfew when I was a
Yeah.
kid than my sister did. By the time I was, like, done and out of there, I don't think she really had a
Mhm.
curfew, but she wasn't staying out till, like, 2, 3 in the morning or whatever in
Mhm.
high school. Like, my parents were just like, "It's fine." But I had to break through.
Mm.
I had to set that stone. I tired them out, you know?
It is tiring them out,
Oh,
isn't
I
it?
was the worst easily. Like, they had enough at that point. I mean, like, I was good enough, I was fine, but I think I
Oh.
definitely did a number.
Wow.
So
See, I think it goes either
you
way
think?
because I went the, like, I didn't have alcohol till I was 21, like,
Wow.
yeah, like, I was, like, rule follower, like,
Yeah.
very much so, like, the list goes like, yeah, late bloomer
Mhm.
just because I have to be perfect.
Yep.
I can't disappoint anyone.
Mhm.
I have to set an example for my siblings. So, yeah, I think it can go either way. Like, the eldest either, like, fully rejects it and is like, I gotta wear them down,"
Yeah.
or yeah, or, like, is so tightly wound.
Yeah. But she and I can laugh about it now,
Mm, I love that.
like, now that we're sort of on the same even keel.
Does it feel like same question to you,
Yeah.
like, what would your advice, like, be to eldest kids?
I would say we all do the best we can all the time,
Mhm.
no matter what, and, like, when we feel such a sort of kinship as the eldest, sibling,
Mm.
we may at sometimes feel like another parent because we feel responsible, still. But you're right, things do change when we all like, get past a point of a certain age.
Mhm.
And when we get to that point, I think that we all look out for each other.
Mhm.
And that's the beauty of it all,
Yeah.
is that when they still come to that like conclusion that like parents and older siblings aren't perfect, it's all okay.
Mhm.
So, like, we've got each other's backs, like, no matter what, and that's, like, what I would say to keep in mind, like, the whole time. Everything we do for them, like, we're doing for ones we love anyway,
Mm.
you know?
Mhm. I love that.
Yeah,
That's beautiful.
Yeah. My sister's my best friend, so, I totally feel it. I really appreciate you being here. Listen, this album to me feels like something of a reclamation.
Mm.
Um a time where you're stopping apologizing and you're living better for yourself and louder also, which is what I also got. But I would love to ask you now, like before we cheers, what do you want to pat yourself on the back about or for?
I would like to cheers for my team for believing in me and for living loud and proud.
Love it. And here's to the eldest daughters, to the ones who fix, forgive, and finally find freedom. Cheers.
Cheers.
This has been Before We Cheers. Thank you, everyone.